Audition first.
Hi friends of I Love Kalihi Vlogs. Hello, this is the first episode of Anything and Everything SB19. Welcome to the new show, and this is Theda Pilar Pineda, your host. And we do have an intro, so let's watch this. Can you see it?
President of the Philippines.
For real. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. They can hear me. Okay, we're back. How did you like that intro? As you can see, there's a lot of old photos there that would kind of give away about my little background. Um, so, because this is our initial broadcast, I think it's okay to introduce myself to you. So I'm Theda Pilar Pineda. I was born in Bacolod City, Negros Occidental, many, many years ago. I was born um, in I was an only child. I grew up there until I was 15, and I moved to Hawaii. I started high school here and then moved on to get a little college education in dental assisting. I'm a board certified dental assistant, and later on, I decided to go into nursing. My auntie, who petitioned us to come here, was actually a nurse, and when I was in high school, she was trying to convince me to be a nurse. And at that time, then I didn't want to be a nurse, but somehow I ended up being a nurse. So that's my little story. And when it comes to the vlog, I love Kalihi vlogs. It's kind of, I guess, in the beginning, when I kind of think of where live, which is Kalihi. Kalihi is an area in Hawaii where most of the immigrants would arrive. It's either, if you're Filipino anyway, your relatives would either be in Waipahu or in Kalihi. So that's kind of basic when you're coming from the Philippines, and usually people would settle in Kalihi and then move on to the different parts of Oahu, the island of Oahu. But for me, I love being here because Kalihi is central to everything. It's close to all the malls, to the beach, to everywhere. And I don't have to drive long distance. So we've stayed here. Although, Kalihi it doesn't have a very good rep because, as I've said, a lot of immigrants would start here. And to me, Kalihi had been good to me all this time since I came here in the 80s. And to kind of say thank you and to acknowledge the goodness of this place, I decided to start a I Love Kalihi Facebook page, and just being positive about it and kind of promote the area where I live. And then later on, since I kind of like writing, I started an I Love Kalihi blog. So you can still find it online. I think it says I Love Kalihi blogspot. You would be able to find the things I wrote back then. It's been a while, and I kind of lost interest, so I kind of stopped writing. And then pandemic came and everybody was vlogging, so I started I Love Kalihi vlogs. And I think if you look at um, my channel, you would see that I've already produced a lot of videos. Some good and interesting ones, some not very good. Um, I would say that I get into a lot of things. I didn't study journalism, but over the years, I've learned so many things. For one thing, my church is very good with having young people learn different things, artistic things. So we got into that and we learned along the way. And so vlogging was easy for me. I would call myself as what do they say? You know how you don't have what is that term? Master of none. You're into so many things, but you don't master anything. So I'm not good in editing. Jack of all trades, master of none. So I get into so many things, but I master nothing. I can produce here and there. At one point, I was able to write a short film, directed it, even played a part in it and all that. But it's not the best, but it was good enough to be put in competition. So things like that. I have so many interests, let's put it that way, as I was growing up. So this is just one of those things. So when I started vlogging, I came across SB19, and when I started talking about SB19, I realized that there's so many of you that got into listening to or watching my videos, and I started to have a lot of subscribers. So I'm very grateful, and I'm so happy being in this group of people with the same interests. We all like SB19 as 18, and I feel like I needed to do more, and that's why I'm starting this live stream, so I could talk to you more and express myself more, and hopefully we can do a lot of things more. I could sense that you guys are very nice people with all the comments that I'm getting, and I want it to be a positive community wherein there's no age limit or anything, young and old alike. Like I said, we all have the same interests. If you're watching me right now, it's anything and everything about SB19. So now move on to how did I come across SB19. So if you've been watching my vlogs, there was a time when my daughters and I were talking about it, and I was mentioning how I was talking to them a lot about SB19, and then my older daughter, Dara, was saying, "Mom, I told you about them a while back. I know about them, and I showed you and I told you about them." And I don't really remember her telling me that, but what I do remember is I did come across SB19 in Net 25, and this is what I saw. Let's see, where is it? All right. Video two. Oh, video two already. I'm still learning. So can see that's letters and music. And look how young our Mahalima were. This is, I believe, 2018.
Liwanag ang nakikita sa tuwing ipipikit aking mata. Bituin ko'y lalong nagniningning, sa dilim walang makakapigil.
So for those of you 18 who know their story, they said this was their last chance that they're giving themselves with this Go Up single. Right, so they were really promoting hard, and apparently I think a week or so after this promotion that they did in that 25, they just blew up in the internet with that practice video that they put out. But look at them, the stage is so small and they just manage it. That was like, well, almost 5 years ago already.
Lumakad ng may bubog sa paa, yeah. Lahat ng iyong pagdududa, tapak ko ba ng igaruda? Yes, I'm gonna go up. Naglaho ng takot sa puso, pagkabigo'y malabo, tagumpay na sa dugo, ko'y positibo. You know I'm ready. Come on and test me. Yeah, we gonna go up. Ibibigay ko ang aking puso.
Look at Pablo and his short hair. They all have short hair.
Handa kong harapin ang lahat, yeah. Kahit pa imposible, yeah, we gonna go up. Kahit anong mangyari, ako'y tatakbo patungo sa liwanag na tanging ninanais ko. Bawat sandali, turing ko ay parang huli, yeah. Itong galaw sa liwa sa ilog na parang maragasa ko. Di ko na kailangan bumagat sa naman kayo dire. Mababa na delikado, fentadado, siya na 1%, di kayo desperado, oh. Yeah, we go nowhere but up, nowhere but up. Ibibigay ko ang aking puso sa pag-abot na pangarap, pilihin to. Handa kong harapin ang lahat, yeah. Wala nang imposible, yeah, we gonna go up.
I think that 25 still has this little round thing when they have guests. Sometimes that's just a couple of people performing. But they do have a big studio and they have a huge building now that's completed.
Yeah, we gonna go up.
Get in the zone.
Break.
Hello everyone, we are
SB19.
and you're watching
Letters and Music.
Enjoy and please
Subscribe now.
Wasn't that nice? A look back. So that's where I first saw them, and I was already impressed when I saw them. But then after a while, so that was 2018, and then soon after the pandemic hits, right? So as a nurse, I was very busy. My life had changed completely. So many things have changed. Like I was not in communication with so many people, and I think all of you, all of us have gone through. That was not easy. But the boys, SB19, apparently they were still always doing something online. But as a nurse, for me, I didn't have time to do all that. In fact, I remember feeling, besides the stress of going to work with longer hours, and for me, I had to take care of positive COVID positive people. And in the morning, usually we would have lab techs that would come and draw blood on all our patients. But when COVID hit, nobody would touch the COVID patient. I had to draw blood every morning. And I remember I had to pray twice. I had to pray before I leave my office, go to the floor where the COVID positive patients are. I'd be praying again before I get into the room. because that was really scary moments for all of us. You know, no vaccine yet, and we've been hearing of people that we know that actually passed away because of that. And in fact, I had a dear old classmate from the Philippines, when, you know, growing up, we were all classmates, and he became a doctor, and later on he did pass. He's one of those. And so many more of people that we know. So that was sad time for all of us. And like I was mentioning, that SB19 didn't really stop. Although they were at home, they were still doing their, I guess, show breaks and little games here and there. They were still being interviewed via the web. They were still singing together while they were at home. In fact, I think I did see later these days that they did perform again. They were guesting in that 25 Letters and Music, while they're at home. You know, they're doing it through the web as again. And so I was kind of oblivious to what's happening with Net 25 and the many programs, the many shows, while the pandemic was on its thickest. And I did have depression. You don't recognize it right away, but later on, you know why you just feel tired all the time. You didn't want to do so many things. But yeah, it was so stressful for all of us. And then when I found out, I wish I heard this song that SB19 put together just for people like us, the doctors and all the people in the health business who were taking care of patients that were putting their lives on the line. I wish I heard this song back then, because I know this would have helped me a lot. So let's play that song. That made me cry again. Oh, I just want to say hi to I actually have listeners live. Wow, this is exciting. Princess B, hello po. Hi. Sanefa, hello. AMB, I remember their song Ikako in honor of the workers on the front line. How can we not love these boys? Yes. Hope you've seen the me. They kept us all going through COVID. Yes. Yes, that's why I said I wish I've heard this song when I was going through it. I actually only found this song way after. So like I said, I did hear or saw them way back when they were just starting, and because of the COVID, I wasn't aware of what's going on anymore, except for my life, going home, taking off all my uniform and jump into the shower, wash my clothes. And I even have to separate myself from my family because, you know, at that time, we don't know what we were bringing into our homes, especially for a healthcare worker like me. So it was so difficult. And I wish, again, I heard that video that they put together. That was really awesome. And that was really nice of them to do that. Let's see, what else can we talk about? That's the first, this as my first live stream. I'm so nervous starting this. I actually have my young friends helping me set up. They're here smiling at me. They're like, oh my gosh, auntie, what are you getting into? But they're so supportive of me. So I'll get better at this, and I hope that we can do more, like I've said. Hello po. What is this? Mapi Leaf. Hello po. We love our Mahalima. Yes. Lovely Ken. Hello po. Princess B, what is your name po on Facebook? It's the same. Like I mentioned, my name is Theda Pilar Pineda. You can find me on Facebook. You can friend request me. I don't know. I have like over 1,000 friends on Facebook. I could still probably add you. I'm not a celebrity like the celebrity that people would follow, and then you wanna click in. You want to be their friend, and you couldn't anymore. I tried that with one of the celebrities I liked before. That's so funny. What else should we talk about? We already talked about how I get to know about SB19. Oh, okay. So after kind of when the pandemic died down, when everything started to move on, and things opening up, businesses and travel, people are starting to travel a little, better or a little more, with still with some restrictions. That's when I started hearing that SB19 started their world tour, and I'm like, SB19, these are the guys, these are the same guys that I've seen a couple of years ago that I really like. I saw that they had potential, and I'm like so glad that over the years when we were busy with the pandemic, they were getting more people to know them online, because I guess when people were staying home, they were watching their concerts. I found out later on that they were having concerts online. So that was great. They were so smart to do that, because they started having audience and building up the 18 from other countries, not just Filipino fans. So that was smart of them. They're so lucky that they were able to do that. And then so when I found out they have a concert, I'm like, what? They're already having a concert in the US, New York, San Francisco, and LA. They started with Dubai. Didn't they go to Dubai twice? So anyway, after the US, then Singapore, and back to the Philippines, and they had a big homecoming concert. And when I saw all that, I'm like, dang, I missed out on that. I want to see them. And that's when I started asking friends if they could come to Hawaii. So that's, if you were watching my channel, or you could backtrack and look at my old videos, that I went to so many things to try and bring them to Hawaii. I think I'll talk about that next time when I bring in a guest who was with me through all those couple of months trying to do so many things, like tumbling nagtumbling na ako all over the place just to bring SB19 to Hawaii. But anyhow, let's not make this long, but I have like a last video that I'd like to play about them. Let's see.
Masayang humarap sa
This is the
entertainment
latest.
press ang P-pop king na SB19 upang ibalita ang paglabas ng kanilang bagong album. Check it.
I was disappointed that I found them in
Ayon
music.
sa 5 miyembro nito,
and
hindi
letters of
matatawaran ang
music
kasiyahan
in Net
kanilang
25,
nararamdaman
and then I
dahil
thought,
sa
lately,
sunod-sunod na blessings
Net 25
na
have not
natatanggap
been
ng
saying
kanilang
anything
grupo
about them
sa
in the
industriyang
news.
kanilang
But then I
tinatahak.
found this.
Nais din nila
So
umanong
they were
ipakita
there at the
ang
press
tunay na
conference.
branding ng SB19.
Kami naman as a group, everything that we release, gusto po namin talaga na pag pinerform namin siya, manggagaling siya sa kalooban namin. Kumbaga, may ilalabas namin yung storya namin dun sa mga performances namin. And nabuo po yung trilogy or yung 3 EP na ilalabas namin through our story. Kaya nagsimula sa pagsibol kung saan talagang nung una po nag-experiment kami kumbaga kung sino ba kami, kung ano ba dapat namin gawin. Ngayon, nandito na kami sa pagtatag. Talagang nandito kami para sabihin na ito yung SB19, hindi kami ipakita kung sino kami.
May 6 na kanta ang bagong EP ng SB19 at kabilang na riyan ang hit song na Gento. Pati na rin ang Ilaw, Freedom, Liham, Crimson at I Want You. Ito ang ikalawa nilang extended play na may titulong Pagtatag na mapapakinggan sa lahat ng music streaming platform.
Dito po papakita namin kung gaano na katatag si SB19. So from pagsibol po na tinatanong namin sino ba si SB19, ngayon po eto kami si SB19, Gento si SB19. Kaya po yung pre-release single po namin na Gento, nauna siya para po ma-introduce namin na eto si SB19, Gento siya. Tapos ngayon po na nirelease namin yung songs, ay mapapakinggan po nila, may iba't ibang kwento po siya, may iba't ibang meaning bawat kanta na magpapakilala sa pagtatag.
Matatandaan na pumasok sa World Digital Song Sales Chart ng Billboard ang kanilang viral hit na Gento na nag-debut sa number 8. Ang naturang chart ay nagtatala ng most downloaded songs sa buong mundo sa nagdaang week-long tracking period. Sa pwestong number 8, ang SB19 na nga ang highest charting Filipino act sa World Digital Song Sales Chart. Bukod pa riyan ay magkakaroon pa ng world tour ang P-pop icon na mangyayari sa Pilipinas, pati na rin sa United States, Canada at marami pang lugar na magsisimula sa June 24 at 25 sa Manila.
Siguro learnings po is, siguro sa haba ng experiences namin, ang dami na po namin pinagdaan, yung pakikinig nga rin po, kumaga makinig sa bawat members at sa ibang tao. So, yung practice na ginagawa ko, being crazy, ganun. Kasi parang
Only for a couple
yes,
of
in a
years
good way.
and look
Kasi
at
parang
these
out of this world po yung
guys,
naisip
they
mo, doon din
bloom
nagsisimula
so
yung,
fast.
ano nyo yun, out of this world na mga output.
Po kami parang
They all
given
look
naman
so
po na
good.
yung strength po ng bawat isa and ng group yung ginagamit namin. And this time po parang we are
You could
trying
tell,
to
you know, how they-
gamitin
it's
po
not
yung
just their
parang
looks,
palakasin
but
po kung
it's
saan
the way
po
they
kami
carry
mahina, yung
themselves
weakness
as
po
well.
namin. Ngayong pagtatag po, kahit naman sinabi namin na matatag na kami, syempre kahit pa paano may kahinaan pa rin
Even
ng isang
Ken,
bagay, ang isang
you
tao.
remember
So yung
those
kahinaan po
old
na yun yung mas
interviews that
pinapalakas
they
pa namin
have?
para
Ken
mas maging
hardly
confident pa po
speaks.
kami lalo.
Is now
Sa
very
huli,
vocal.
binahagi ng grupo ang kanilang attachment sa letters and
I think
music.
everybody knows that. And I think
Diyan tayo nagsimula eh.
couple of
Nakibat na rin yan
non-Filipino
siguro yung,
vloggers,
yun nga po,
I mean,
yung parang
reactors
yung mga
have
kanta namin,
mentioned how
letters and
Ken
music din po kasi
looks
yun.
much happier
Parang
these
yun na po
days
yung,
than in
doon
the
po
past.
namin siya,
And I
kumbaga,
wanted to
syempre po sa
say
dami
that
nila,
maybe
dito po namin
because at
dinadaan
that
yung mga gusto
point,
namin
he was the
sabihin sa
last
mga
to
tao
be
at
in
sa mga
contract
fans.
with the old company that they have. Okay, we're back. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. You're actually watching me. I can't believe I have people watching me. So let's read. Lovely Ken, hello po. Okay, I did read that part. A and B. You're one of my heroes, I guess. One of my sons almost died of COVID. Thanks to dedicated doctors and nurses, he came through. Wow, see? There's always somebody that we know, huh? Thank you for your dedication. Sending love from the universe to you. Thank you. You know, I was just mentioning to my friend, the only thing that was good about COVID was McDonald's here in the US. They gave us free meals. If you're a nurse or anybody who work in the healthcare system, you get to go there and just, you know, present yourself and they will give you a meal. So that was not good, but that was kind of funny when we're talking about that, because then some are also kind of being naughty. They would go to one McDonald's and they drive to another McDonald's and get another meal, and then they would give it away to their friends and family. So that was good. That was the only thing good. Everything else is stress, everyday stress. Rodora Reyes. Hi, Ate. Hi. It's hurt. Buti nakilala ko, SB19, hindi naging boring ang pandemic ko. That's true. I just realized that later on they have so many videos. Apparently they were doing so many videos to interact with their with the 18, and that's why they stayed popular, and then they just had more and more people liking them and becoming their fans, right? It's hurt. Oh, okay. Princess B. Oh, we have a common friend. I'm from Hawaii, and it's thinking of. I'm sorry. I'm from Hawaii, and it's thinking of going to the LA concert. Yes, go to LA concert. Let's go together. I will message you if I have decided. Okay, message me. Lovely Ken, it hurts me too. SB19 helped me a lot during pandemic. Yes, AMB, so excited for you to see them. Yes, perhaps if you meet them, you can quickly beg them. Oh my gosh, once in a while I think, oh my gosh, I don't want to make A, but sometimes I'm kind of like, this is what I'm gonna say when I see them, but I don't know, it depends on the situation. Apparently we do have an opportunity to take pictures with them, and they said it's per group of 10 people. So supposedly my group, there should be 4 of us, and then so there's other 6 people I would not know. So we'll see if I have the guts to kind of open my big mouth, and but at the same time I'm so shy. I might just make A and just say anything there, and they'll probably go, who's this old lady, right? They're so humble. I'm sure they'll listen. Envy those who can see them, as I'm in England. Oh, you're in England, but I think they're going to go there soon. They did kind of mention in one of the interviews that they want to travel. So don't lose hope. I'm sure, I think there's a lot of Filipinos in England. They're everywhere. Filipinos are everywhere. You heard they're not coming. Well, maybe not now, but you know how fast the kind of rotation that they did. They just finished December of last year, right? Their homecoming concert was in December, and then they were there at the New Year's Eve. Then what? After a couple of months, they were already preparing for this Pagtatag album to come out, and at the same time for this series of concerts, really, so Priscilla or Priska B sent you a message. Okay, I'll check on that later. Oh, so it's so nice to talk to you guys. Don't be shy. You can talk to me in any language. It's just that I only can speak back in Tagalog, Ilonggo. I can understand a little Ilocano, but I can't speak to save myself. I could say simple things like mangantayon, meaning let's go eat. Very simple. But I think if people are talking continuously in Ilocano, I can pick up what they're talking about, but I can't inject a line or, answer if they ask me a question. I would answer in English if whatever I understand they're talking about. Ilonggo, I can, of course, speak well, because that's where I grew up, in Bacolod. And Tagalog, of course, Filipino language, you learn that in school growing up. Talking about Filipino language, it's, when I came to Hawaii, the older Filipinos here, the Ilocanos, they're mostly Ilocanos, they could speak English, but they couldn't speak Tagalog. I guess they didn't, during their time when they went to school, they didn't learn Filipino or Tagalog. So I remember one of my grandpas overheard me calling my uncle Tito. You come from the Philippines, you say Tito, Tito Fausto, Tito. And he heard me, and he's like, why is she calling him Tito? His name is Fausto. He doesn't know that Tito means uncle. Yeah, so that was cute. Okay, how long we've been streaming already? Not that long, but if there's anything you guys wanna ask me, I'm always ready to answer any questions. If there's any advice to tell me, go ahead. I will always listen. I just want this live stream and our group and my channel to always be positive, promoting SB19 and anything positive that is valuable to us as Filipinos, as people, I want you to have a safe environment. There are so many people that are online nowadays that share their interests. For us here, I'm open to any thing that you may want to say. We just have to all be mindful and be nice about it. If we have anything that we don't agree, it's okay to disagree in a nice way, right? Oh, Rodora Reyes, I'm from Bacolod too. Really? Now, nasa Quezon, I am surprised. Fellow Nigrense, yes, we can chat in Ilonggo if you want. My Ilonggo is not very good. But, I mean, I'm fluent, of course, but there's nobody to talk to here. So that's why the practice is not good, or it's not there. I have to think if I meet somebody Ilonggo here in Hawaii, it takes me a while. I have to kind of be in the zone, like the voice would say, so I can start talking in Ilonggo. Oh, excuse me. Started crying earlier. Now my nose is runny. By the way, what time is it in your place? It's 9:30 here in Hawaii, and it's Friday, the 23rd at 9:30. If you are in the Philippines, it's already Saturday, right? Rolando Amaro, I'm from Mabinay, Negros Oriental, Cebuano, but my lola is pure Ilongga. She's from Bacolod too. Nice. Okay, that's another thing. I can understand Bisaya or Cebuano. You know what's funny? When I went back to Bacolod for our class reunion, so I did have some high school in the Philippines, but the equivalent of high school, third year high school, is 9th grade here in the US, right? So when I came here, I get to start high school here. But it's not like I went back or anything. Eat it. Sorry, I'm talking to my young friends here who helped set up this for me. He's like hungry waiting for me, and the food is just there. So I said, go eat. So anyway, when I went on my class reunion in Bacolod, my friends and I decided to go to Cebu. So that's like, you just flew there for like 30 minutes, you're in Cebu. What's funny is when we got there, we couldn't really speak Cebuano, but we understand. So we rode a taxi, and the taxi driver was speaking to us in Cebuano, but we would answer him in Ilonggo. He understands Ilonggo, but he couldn't speak Ilonggo. So that's how we communicated. It was okay. It was fine. My mom could speak Cebuano as well. So when Ken talks, I understand what he's saying. Cebuano. It's not so different. I don't know. For me, I can understand. It's just that I can't really speak. Just like how it is for me with Ilocano, I guess. I understand, but I cannot really form a complete sentence to reply when they're talking to me. What else? Actually, the dialect in Albay is kind of close a little bit to Ilonggo, because I did have a friend whose family was from there, and they moved to Bacolod when we were growing up. And when I listened to her talking to her parents, I'm like, wait, I'm understanding what she's talking about. It's kind of close to Ilonggo. But yeah, there's so many Visayan dialects. A lot of people don't understand that when you say, okay, properly, the Philippines, the middle part of the Philippines are all Visayan islands, right? So Visayan dialects are different. There's so many, there's Bulanon, there's Ilonggo. It's actually Hiligaynon, I think is the proper term for Ilonggo. Then there's Cebuano. But then they also say Bisaya. When they say Bisaya, they just assume that we understand that that's like Cebuano. But to us, I guess when you're in Bacolod or you're an Ilonggo, you differentiate Cebuano from, you don't use the term Bisaya, because to us it means that's all of us in the Visayan region. So I think that's the difference. Rolando, I'm from, oh, kaya pala ang lambing mo magsalita. Really? Malambing ba? Oh my goodness. I can't speak Ilonggo, but my mom can, and her siblings. I don't know if that sounds malambing, but I think growing up here, my people say that I have a strong personality and I'm actually not approachable, kind of. So I don't know if that's what you get from me, but there was a time that I asked my friends growing up that it was funny because my friends were all having boyfriends and I'm the only one who didn't have, and I said, oh, how come nobody likes me? And then somebody said, oh, you have a strong personality, the guys are scared of you. And I said, really? But I'm really nice. And it's funny when you have to tell people that you're nice, right? Does that mean you're not nice when you have to tell people that you're nice? But really, what you know about yourself, it's not what people see in you. So it's okay. Sometimes we do look strong, but it's not always true who we are inside, right? Just like I think there was a time that somebody was saying something negative about Ken because I think somebody put together a video that he was saying tabi tabi, but he's how he's always playing with Justin, and I think that was in PBBB Bahay ni Kuya. Somebody put together that video, and it's all about him being kind of bullying a little bit Justin, but they were playing around, and that person was saying, he's the one that I don't like, or something to that effect, because he's rough now and he's a bully, asal kali, something like that. But you don't really know a person unless you really get to know them. So I think that's one thing we have to be careful when we cannot just judge people by just looking at them or even hearing them sometimes that they may sound rough or stuff like that, because they're probably just kind of horsing around, playing around with their friends. And I don't think, in fact, when Ken started doing his interviews, remember he had a round of interviews when he did his Rockstar, his EP. I was so surprised how he's a different person, different in a way that, because during interviews with SB19 as a group, he was always quiet in the corner, unless he's being asked. But when he had to do it, because that was his solo, I was so impressed how he carried himself. It's not just because he's binata, mature na, but as a person, I was impressed how he was so cool and mabait. He was really mabait. And then you start hearing that from other people that have met him too. They were so impressed that Ken is mabait. And I think people sometimes are fast to judge just because they see them boys roughing it out, sometimes playing around. But it's not just Ken who's doing that. Sometimes even Stel, he's so like that, right? His Stel is being atichona to sometimes, right? So I don't know. I think Ken is a very interesting person. That's why he attracts people that like him and people that don't like him as well. He's one of those people. Princess B. Wait, let me go back. Gracie at my force. I'm sorry that I don't read properly, even though I'm wearing glasses. These are just reading glasses. Sometimes my eyes are still bad. I can't see good. Thanks much for your support of SB19. Just curious, what does Kalihi mean? Oh, gosh, I did find out what was Kalihi. What did Kalihi mean before? I think it means something like the edge. It's a Hawaiian word. Kalihi is a town in Honolulu. Yes. Ate, who is your bias? Oh my gosh. I would never answer that question. I always, and I'd like to maintain this hopefully until the day I die. No, really, because I feel like I'm an older 18, right? And it's not, for me, I feel like I have to be an auntie. I have to be an auntie. An auntie is always fair, and an auntie should always just love the boys. They're all different and they're all special. I could tell you a story for each of them, why I like them, but I would never say who is my bias, because that's kind of not fair, you know. So okay, I'll just tell you what I like for each of them, to be fair, right? So okay, let's start with Pinuno because he's the leader. So Pablo, what I admire in him is his smarts, his artistic ability, his way of writing, his compositions, his music, and his lyrics. Oh my gosh. That's like, you know, if you're a smart girl, well, no, take that back. A girl, I think, that likes the arts would always be in love with Pablo because of that, his artistic side. Okay, that's all I'm going to talk about Pablo. And of course, as a leader, he's a very good leader. I could see how he cares for them and how he considers their talents, and he knows that's how smart he is, because he knows their strength and he uses that to incorporate that into their songs, and that's why their performance are always the best, right? And his composition is even made better because he knows his people, he knows his group, he knows his friends, his brothers, the SB19. He knows their strength, and then he still tries to push them and help them to grow even better. And that's what a good leader is. And he's a good example. And yet sometimes he acts like a little boy too, so at least they don't feel, and in their group I could sense that they're not really, you know, fearful of him, but they respect him. They know what he does. They're always grateful, you know. And then he's like, no, 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 and he gets mad when or he's like, when he's being when they're saying good things about him, he's like, I remember he was saying, "Etong gitara, it will be your." It's like, I will, you know, put it on your head, kind of thing. So that's how he is. So that's Pablo. And then Ken, of course, his voice. Oh my gosh, distinct. Like he said, first he hated it because he can't sing like Stell, his friend. But then Pablo, with Pablo's encouragement, he is now like his. If you just watch a lot of, that's what I do. I watch a lot of reactors who are non-Filipinos because I wanted to see what they think of SB19, and they are already 18, right? That's why they're always reacting, and many of them are always go. They always stop the video, go, Ken, you know. These are the women, but the men are also go, right, Ken, you know. So yeah, his voice, and of course his talent. He's produced his own songs. He's very artistic, and his ability to overcome what he went through, oh my gosh, that's special. And what else with Ken? Yeah, he's a very interesting personality, something that you need to get to know to even like him even more. And I could see his kindness, and but sometimes he acts like a little kid as well. Like a lot of us notice that he's more bunso than Justin, right? So that's Ken. And then since I mentioned Justin is the all-around guy, very sweet, very nice, and you could see also that he's a good kid because he shows how he loves his parents, how he loves his mom, and of course the artistic side, putting together their music video. He can paint, he can do drawings, and he can sing and dance. So and now a lot of the reactors have take notice that Justin and Josh had improved a lot in their singing. Josh is somebody that you cannot not love because of the things that he went through growing up, and you can see the goodness in his heart. Oh, now I'm kind of, I don't know why I feel like crying, just because I remember the things that he went through, and to survive all that and still to be a good person and to love his mom and his sister. How come when I talk about Josh it made me cry? It makes me cry. And he's of course muy simpático. Gosh, that guy know how to work the camera. He has very nice eyes. Who else? Stell, of course. Stell is Stell, beautiful voice. What else can you not like about Stell? He's easy. I noticed that when there's other people that mix with them, especially girls, he's so, you could tell that the girls gravitate to him, not just because he's good looking, but he's easy to talk to. He approaches them, and I could see how he's just being a nice person. And I think the other boys, they're kind of shy to talk to the girls, but I could always see how Stel would just start talking to them as a kuya, or just a nice guy, making friends with girls, and not necessarily because he's attracted to any of them. So he really has a great personality, although we know that he also went through a lot of being bullied growing up. So he grew up very nicely. So that's how I like all of them. Did I miss anybody? There's nobody that's not likable, but I would not say who's my bias. Hey, I got away with that. What else? Rolando Amaro. Were you guessing that you think I like Pablo more? I'm biased in a sense that because I admire Pablo a lot, it's also because we share the same birth month. And my kids laugh at me because I always say, oh, yung mga September babies kasi very smart, gana. Kasi I want to be related to smart people. Kasi September din ako, right? That's just me. Nako, Priscilla and Rolando are now talking to each other. Gracie, me too. I love them all. Mahalima. Priscilla, Rolando. Actually, we too, but Pablo is special. Uy, naku Priscilla. That's right. Wag makipag-away. I think I made a comment one time when they were talking about how some of the fans are starting to fight because of my boss is better, I said, that should not be the actuation or the ugali natin, because we're here first because we like SB19. Now those little subgroups, I don't like that. It's good that you have your bias, that's fine, but don't overly do it, because any biasing is dividing, and it's not good. Everybody should be united in just supporting SB19, and not be overly, you like only one person and then you start pitting them against each other, because they themselves are not like that. They don't fight about, I'm better than you, and Pablo never say I'm better than you, and that kind of stuff. So they're not like that. They share the load, they help each other, they appreciate each other. They have respect for each other. Pablo respects each one of them and their abilities, and they do the same thing with Pablo. So the fan should not be like, should not be that way, that my bias is better than your bias kind of thing. Don't get too carried away with it. Rolando, yes, I'm crying. Bakit, Rolando? What are you crying about? Okay, I think our chat has been too long. Maybe next time it can be longer and more fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I didn't actually expect that I would have people joining me, so I'm really honored for your stopping by and conversing with me. And sa ulitin, okay? So if I don't go live stream, I would still produce episodes of or videos about SB19 and other things that I do here in Hawaii. You can still message me and let me know what you want to see here in Hawaii. Since I'm here, what do you want me to cover? What do you want me to feature? Maybe we're gonna be trying to be more creative next time, so that you can see a little bit more about Hawaii, whatever you want to learn about, what to know, what to see, and I will try to get that for you or do that for you. Okay, so for now, paalam. Thank you so much. Until we meet again. Bye. Aloha. Stop. What's that? Yes or no? Yes?